Jadi gue sama Borjong.
Can you hear me? Hello.
I can.
So, how are you in this quarantine?
Gue baik, gue gak stres, depres kadang-kadang. Tapi gitulah, namanya hidup, circle of life. Jadi, apa nih, kau ngelakuin apa aja selama karantina? Sebagai anak UI, ini anak UI nih. Anak UI,
jangan
apakah
gitu
anak
dong.
UI belajar terus? Atau anak UI beristirahat, anak UI?
Anak UI ini, saya sebenarnya, I'm gonna tell you a background about my story. So, my semester 1, which is like Agustus sampai Desember, saya adalah anak sarjana teknik. Betul kawan-kawan? Saya sarjana teknik. Yeah, flex a bit, that's okay. I'm just telling you, right? Holiday comes. I went back to my college life from January to March, and quarantine strikes. So from March until right now, aku sarjana bahasa Korea. Annyeonghaseyo, une.
Background juga, adek gue ini dulu benci banget Korea. Nggak negaranya, kayak like every culture.
No,
dia tuh kayak
no, I didn't say that. Cuma kayak
dia nggak benci lah. Maksudnya
jangan don't spread any rumors, man. Don't spread lies.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Bukan benci lah.
Not interested gitu loh. Dulu tuh gue interestednya, jangan pakai gue. Dulu tuh aku interestednya tuh sama kayak, I was interested in T-Rex, on big animals like Godzillas and stuff. I was interested in that.
Tapi apa yang terjadi?
You know, like boys, Annyeong and all those things. You don't get it, those oppas are like really handsome. Sebenarnya tuh gak tahu kenapa tiba-tiba suka K-drama. Kayak I don't know why I also jumped in the bandwagon gitu. Cuman so many interesting kayak Korean drama. Gimana ya kalau misalnya kamu compare Korean drama sama Indosiar sinetron, there's so many things gitu loh yang beda. So from Korean drama you also get a lot of extra knowledge gitu. Yang ngerti gak sih kayak they're not just about, kalau kamu ngeliatin sinetron Indonesia, basically it's about kayak ibunya yang muslimah, bapaknya cheated on her, and then they got mad, gini-gini. That's basically the whole thing about sinetron. Tapi kalau misalnya you jump into K-drama, you learn a lot.
What?
Example ya, misalnya yang kerja di K-drama, kayak di K-drama tuh mereka pekerjaannya beda-beda gitu loh. Like kayak misalnya ada yang jadi lawyers, prosecutors, kayak misalnya circus, kayak circus master gitu. You learn a lot on how their life goes and how law works. I learn a lot, you know.
Jadi lu dulu suka dinosaurus yang big things. The phrase T-Rex is
That's what
my
she
babe.
said.
Itu gue dulu yang introduce lu ke BTS dan you didn't take mind to it.
I did.
No, you weren't as hype as I was. Setiap kali gue tunjukin lu kayak apaan sih nih. Tapi sekarang lu kayak head over heels over K-pop apa sih?
K-drama, yeah.
Dan I don't understand the hype. The fact that you learn a lot of things.
Everybody is in the hype right now. The fact that you're not understanding it, something is wrong with you.
Lu nonton Korea buat apa ya? Buat ceritanya, buat cowok-cowoknya, atau kayak sebenarnya Korean drama kan hampir sama dengan sinetron Indosiar kalau dipikir-pikir sih. Kenapa nggak nonton sinetron Indosiar aja yang selesainya hari H gitu loh?
Huh?
Kenapa lu nonton
you
Korean
need to
drama?
understand, sinetron Indosiar doesn't stop hari H. It stops like 10,000 episodes after.
Lu salah anjir, itu kalau lu nonton SCTV. Kalau lu nonton Indosiar dari jam 3 sampai jam 6, itu 3 jam aja itu sinetron.
The fact that I don't know the fact that I don't know anything about it, itu bagus artinya. I'm not sure how do you know all of these things.
That's not my point.
That's the whole thing.
Anime, ngapain gua ngomong Indosiar?
She secretly watch Indosiar, guys.
Ya jujur sih, gue kadang nonton. Kadang-kadang gue ke video.com buat nonton Indosiar karena gue kangen dengan negaraku gitu.
So many things that you can miss about your country, like martabak, like Indomie, like your family, and then you go back to Indosiar. Something's wrong with her, guys. Hey, I'm not hating on Indosiar ya. I just have better taste.
Tapi lu gak nonton anime lagi dong kayak lu dulu?
I would like to watch anime yang bukan romance anymore gitu loh, yang not shoujo anymore, because it's predictable gitu gak sih kalau shoujo anime?
Tunggu dulu. Tapi Korea bukannya sama ya dengan shoujo?
No.
Iya dong.
Ya gitu, maksudnya kayak ada different a bit lah. Cuman kayak if you look at shoujo anime ya, it's all the same.
It's not the same. It's not all the same.
you don't mean to tell me they don't kayak pick up the pencil and then they like stare at each other and stuff.
Okay, hold on, stop talking. Name one anime yang kayak gitu coba.
Aduh, apa ya?
Bacot lu.
Ada tahu like Kimi no Todoke?
Dia kadang ngambil pensil.
They fall into that criteria, like they help each other. Kayak the girl is like, Ming, help me.
Jadi selain Korea apa lagi nih?
I watch documentaries.
Do you know how funny it is that gue juga kayak gue nggak bisa nonton horor, tapi gue bisa nonton 3 jam serial killer documentary gitu.
Iya.
Tapi horor gue nggak bisa nonton.
Iya. Kenapa ya?
Bukannya gue psikopat ya atau psikotik kayak kok psikotik, diskotik, bukan. Gue kayak gue tahu cerita Ted Bundy, gue tahu cerita serial killer yang ini, yang itu.
Karena
tapi kalau nonton horor gue nggak bisa.
Basically because karena kalau if you watch these documentaries, kamu learn a lot gitu loh. Kalau kamu nonton Annabelle, kamu nonton Conjuring, what do you learn?
Learn a lot of things loh. Kalau misalnya dari horor.
Exorcism?
No.
Ya.
Jangan megang boneka yang terlantar.
Yeah, that's true.
Enggak sih, sebenarnya horror story itu nggak ada excitement di situ lagi gitu loh.
Karena kayak it's predictable gitu ya. When was the last time you watch horror movie?
I don't watch horror movies. I'm a good Christian.
Praise the Lord.
Enggak lah. Nonton lah. Terakhir nonton yang mana coba? Nggak inget sih. Tapi udah lama nggak. Karena horror story sebenarnya gitu-gitu aja.
Iya.
Ceritanya it's pretty predictable lah. Sama dengan Korean drama. Yang predictable sekali, cewek pasti jatuh cinta ke cowok yang ini, pasti orang ini bakal mati, orang yang lari duluan pasti mati,
iya sih.
Orang yang bertanggung jawab pasti tidak akan mati.
Kalau misalnya if I can fight on this, kayak maybe the ending is predictable but the progress it's different every time, every series. Ngerti nggak maksudnya?
Enggak.
Makanya nonton.
Tapi lu nonton Korea tuh gara-gara apa sih? Gara-gara dramanya atau gara-gara cowoknya? Karena gue liat Instagram lu itu penuh dengan cowok-cowok Korea, kayak lu berpaling. Dulu lu itu kayak cowok yang dari itu tuh film The Rim, Pacific Rim tuh, cowok-cowoknya kan cakep-cakep. Dulu dia suka banget Pacific Rim, gengs.
Karena ada big robots.
No, it's not only the big robot. She put the guy's half naked body as her wallpaper, ya kan? Tapi suddenly dia move on dari.
Iya, buka kartu gua, tell them everything.
Ya kayak dia udah membuka seksualati. Membuka pintu yang baru gitu loh. Kayak kalau gue kan konsisten, gue dari dulu suka anime, jadi kayak gue anime.
Tapi kayak jujur aja, karena kalau misalnya kamu sama opa itu kayak some reasonable gitu loh, ngerti gak sih?
Ngapain juga kau ngomong opa kayak macam pula apa kau?
Opa, opa.
Tahu gue gak usah jijik banget pakai ambil opa kayak apaan sih Rah?
Gimana ya, sebenarnya tuh kayak bosen aja gitu, quarantine gak tahu ngapa-ngapain, and I'm new to Netflix gitu kan, I'm new to having Netflix, so itu kayak, and I'm tired of watching kayak documentaries juga gitu at the very first start, karena kayak it's kayak watching documentaries can affects your brain gitu tau, on how, karena dulu I watch documentaries yang serial killer gitu kan, suka banget. As time goes, my mind itu become very violent gitu loh.
Oh, actually it does.
Iya, jadi kayak the way I go through, kayak misalnya one day at a time, itu tuh kayak bener-bener violent. Kayak I don't know, I'm not gonna explain how my brain works, tapi it becomes violent gitu. So I feel like I need to get away from documentaries for a while. I watch Korean drama, terus kayak ya udah, it's not that violent. Tapi yang kayak lucu, itu lucu-lucu juga gitu loh. Kayak lucunya bukan receh orang Amerika gitu, ngerti gak sih? Orang Amerika it's kind of pretty receh gitu. Bener. Kan for Indonesian humor itu kan pretty receh. Nah, Korean drama tuh masih reasonable enough for us Indonesian to laugh at gitu.
There's this time as well, kayak sebenarnya dokumenter itu fun banget untuk ditonton, jujur aja, yang serial killer ya. Tapi I was watching like even a short clip like of somebody's punching someone and it got like pretty violence in my head.
Yeah.
It was really awful. Like you began to think awful things. I think it's a normal human being reaction, which is why you need to be careful on what you see and what you consume, because what you see is what you become. I'm not saying I'm kayak anybody who watch documentary serial killer become a serial killer ya.
Cuman kayak
beda-beda
attitude a bit gitu loh, their behavior and how they say things itu bisa kayak they usually say things kayak softly, tapi once they watch kayak all these, mereka lebih harsh gitu loh on talking.
It does.
Kayak misalnya,
yeah.
Sorry agak ini ya, kayak agak jam, like don't fuck with cats. Kayak the fact that he went through all that process, yang the serial killer, it started because he watched movies. Remember,
that is
he
correct.
doesn't go out, he doesn't have any friends,
Yeah.
so he started watching movies, and that is why he replicate that into his life. So it's technically true gitu loh, karena dia bilang until the end, even until dia di arrest in that room, dia tuh ngomong kayak he crossed his legs. He say he wants cigarettes, he needs to smoke, exactly the same as the movies. So that's when you know like what you watch literally kayak affects your mental health juga gitu loh. That's why aku jump into the bandwagon of Korean drama because it's much safer, it's much.
Tapi bener loh, yang kau bilang kayak di Alkitab, even dibilang loh di Alkitab kayak the eyes is the window to the soul and the mind and everything
Yeah.
else. So kayak like
For more information, do check the Bobo doll experiments by Bandura, Ross, and Ross. So they were exposing some of the children to watch aggressive videos and violence, and by the end of the experiments, these children were playing more aggressively with other toys and even beginning to beat up the Bobo dolls as well.
bener-bener harus be careful nih apa yang lu masukin ke dalam tubuh lu. Kalau lu makan pasir, mati.
Goblok kan. Ini kira cuma makan pasir mati guys, banyak bro.
Tapi gue ngeliat lu di Instagram story kemarin nonton Chernobyl. Udah selesai belum?
Belum, kali ini ya, karena this time kayak kalau aku nonton Korean drama tuh I skip on a lot of stuff. Kayak misalnya if I feel like this is not important, I skipped on it. That's probably why I can finish a series in 2 days gitu loh. Kayak misalnya if you feel like pasti ini ngomongin yang the same thing all over again, like I'm not wasting time gitu kan. Tapi here's the thing, Chernobyl is I watch it kayak benar-benar every minute. Aku baca, aku kayak I try to understand everything, even the science part and how nuclear works. Kayak vision, flux, kayak it's pretty scary.
Kalau misalnya lu pada belum nonton HBO Chernobyl, harus banget ditonton demi apapun.
Iya.
Karena sinematografinya bagus. Kedua,
Inggrisnya juga
biografi.
bagus.
Inggrisnya juga lu bagus.
Iya.
Rusianya jelek banget. Gak bisa bahasa Rusia. Salah semua karakter Rusia di situ. Gak ada yang bisa ngomong
Namanya
bahasa.
gue nggak ngerti, namanya gak bisa gue hafal.
Namanya Rusia semua, tapi gak bisa ngomong bahasa Rusia.
Iya.
Gila, gue dikejar gak ya sama orang Soviet kayak gini? Orang Rusia ngomong bahasa Inggris. Pecat semua filmnya. Nanti dari bukunya bakal diceritain lagi lebih dalam. Kenapa kayak gini. Tapi ini buku sama movie-nya beda orang ya. Ini bukunya.
Tapi is it the same?
It's the same story. They're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, you should, if you watch K-drama or you watch Thailand dramas, if you watch any other country, stop and start watching Chernobyls. Kayak, it's,
Kenapa lu gak nonton Thailand drama?
I'm not gonna say it. I wanna tell you first, kayak just some introduction about, I rehearsed this one, so you better listen to me. Kayak,
Oh shit!
so I wanna tell you a background story about K-drama gitu kan. Jadi K-drama kayak di Netflix tuh K-drama tuh mostly started at 2016. So what's the difference between the K-drama in 2016 starting 2016, 17, 18 and 19 and 20 right now is that 2016 their episodes, the series ends at 20 episodes. Nah, kalau misalnya 2018, 2019 they ended at 16 episodes. Now that I've watched so many K-dramas, I'm telling you, I've watched so many K-dramas, even though I skipped a lot, I watch a lot of K-dramas. I can see a pattern right now. I can see a pattern from K-drama. So they have 16 episodes, yeah. I'm gonna divide you into two phases of the episode. The first one, from the first episode to episode 11, itu tuh kayak the building up of the relationship gitu tau. Wah, listen! The episode 1 sampai episode 11 tuh the building of relationship gitu. Yang the episode 1 sampai 5 tuh yang kayak I hate you, you hate me. Like just platonic relationship gitu kan. But somehow, I don't know how, di episode 6, 7, 8 sampai 11, somehow the guy tiba-tiba suka sama ceweknya just surprisingly gitu loh. Misalnya nih kayak ceweknya nih she worked in a cafe kan. Terus cewek example she worked in a coffee shop. She worked in a coffee shop, ya kan? Terus nanti ceweknya tuh lagi ngelap gitu kan, kayak ngelap meja. Somehow the guy walked, kayak lihat dari jauh. Oh, I liked her. I mean, how does that work? You know, like you're just cleaning the table and the oppa suddenly just, oh, I liked her just because she's cleaning the table, wah.
Apa bedanya Shoujo manga sama Korea drama. It's the same plot. See, there are freaking pattern. See, you need to understand why does this thing makes every girls or like every audience member kayak Toki Bakara or atau kayak like oh my heart, what is this pattern gitu loh. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Kayak like there's a pattern in it and for some reason every girls fall for it.
Iya. You know what's so
And it's
funny?
crazy.
You know what's so funny? Yang paling struck me the most, how optimist the girls are gitu loh. Kayak the guys fall in love with the girls just because of what she say. You're so cool. What you've done is so cool. Keep it up. And then the guy just like, I like you for saying that. Do you see that? Kamu pernah nonton itu gak sih?
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Let me just comment on that a little bit. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I've seen what you're saying. And it's not just Korean drama. It's even movie from the West.
Yeah, I don't get it.
The girl did nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have no hate on the girl. I could be that girl. I did
exactly
nothing.
my point. Like, you're not the only optimist person in the world. I could do that too.
Shit, I could do that. Like, what's the difference between me and the girl? Is it the face?
I will throw you some verse Bible right now to tell you how optimist I am.
Tara cowoknya bego. Kayak cewek sih kayak aku nggak tahu lah ya, mungkin ada yang namanya every romcom yang ada di dunia ini.
Iya, it's like you need some kayak revelation gitu kali ya dari kata-kata dari ceweknya like no.
Coba bilang all the best gitu. All the best opa gitu coba.
All the best, Opa.
Mungkin cara kita ngomong sama, tapi for some reason ada cara dia, ada
Iya.
cara gua gitu loh kayak.
Iya, I don't get
is
it. Kayak even in misalnya kalau misalnya di manga ya, kalau bukan di anime ya, di manga ya. Itu tuh kayak come in shoujo kayak come the first chapter misalnya they know each other. The second chapter is when they talk. Terus tiba-tiba cowoknya have this moment yang kayak misalnya ceweknya say something, terus tiba-tiba dia matanya tiba-tiba gini.
It's not like that, Ra. It's not like that. You're making it sound like kayak
No.
kena
You
stroke,
have to get it,
anjir.
Mbak. Cowoknya tuh tiba-tiba matanya tiba-tiba kayak
NANI?
kayak the word just struck him gitu loh. I mean like it's just a basic word gitu lah. It's a
Oh,
little
hold on.
basic
You mean
word.
kayak gini ya?
Iya, kayak gitu kayak he's taken aback gitu loh. Like that's what he wanted to hear all this time. But I'm just saying, how can it be coming just from one person? Tapi kadang aku juga takut gitu tau. Okay, is that I'm hating on this, but is that how I'm gonna be if I meet someone?
No, but this is the issue, you know. This kind of shows. I'm saying this not to attack Korean drama. I'm attacking about the genre of shoujo manga,
On
Korea
romance
drama,
gitu ya.
and even of the West. It gives a girl a fantasy that you don't have to do anything and let the guy come to you. Just don't do anything. Just
Yeah.
play it in your head
Yeah, benar,
and
benar,
have
benar.
the guy to come over. And it sucks because that's how I used it, which is why I haven't gotten a boyfriend. Maybe because like I'm hoping for someone to just
play
like
cool.
I'm gonna stare at you.
Somehow kita bakal cross path and stuff. That's not how life works.
Yeah, and that's not how life works. That is correct. Kayak gak ada yang kayak gitu, Rah. Seumur hidup, gue jomblo sampai kapan itu?
Me too.
Tapi iya kayak it gives a fantasy bahwa lu gak perlu ngapa-ngapain gitu loh. It's just something which is good lah, in a sense. It's a good message. Kayak like there's something unique about you.
I also want to add that because of that one characteristic of yours, you ended up becoming a hopeless romantic instead, and this is what you see in a lot of these movies as well.
But at the same time, you cannot completely rely on a dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying yes, the dude still has to approach the girl. That's right. But
But kita juga bisa approach gitu loh. Kok,
Iya, kayak-
I'm asking you ya. Do you believe in he's the one gitu? Ngerti gak sih kayak God will give you the one? Gimana sih ngomongnya? Apa sih bilangnya mate through mate? Soulmate. Do you believe in soulmate? I don't.
I don't really believe in it. Kayak what do you mean you don't?
Kayak I feel like if you choose that person, if you worked hard enough to get close, kalau kamu mau dekat sama dia, even though you're rejected at first, tapi kamu work hard, kayak kamu bekerja keras, dia bakal somehow kayak bisa gitu loh jadi, ngerti gak? When you trust in soulmate, you trust on waiting. And I just don't think you should wait on a person. You should make that as a progress gitu loh. Do you get?
I guess.
Yeah, gitu. That's what I think kayak you cannot just wait kayak gue suka deh cowok ini. I'm waiting if he is the one. I'm waiting for him to make the move. I don't think so. If you think he is the one, you should make the move first. It's totally fine gitu loh. That's when you know kalau misalnya if things work out, then he is the one gitu.
Kemarin kita juga di gereja baru ngomongin about dating as well. Kayak if you rely on that, kayak ditanya, is that really the one? Kayak like, is there really the one person? Well, kata pastornya nggak gitu sih. Kalau misalnya the one itu meninggal, does not mean you're not gonna get married all the lagi kan?
Iya.
Kayak gitu.
That's what I mean. Kalau misalnya you like, work hard on it. Terus kamu ya tunggu Tuhan gitu loh. Kalau misalnya if God allows gitu loh.
Gue nggak tahu lu udah nonton 50 Shades of Grey atau Twilight. Kayak dua-duanya juga Kristen sama si siapa sih Anastasia Steele juga sebenarnya kalau lu nonton video filmnya ya, bukannya gue ngejek nih dua cewek.
Oh my god, bener banget.
Di dua cewek cuman masuk ke kantor, masuk ke kelas. Tiba-tiba vampire-nya udah kejang-kejang.
Bella makin stinks. Sebenarnya tuh kalau misalnya if you look at Twilight sama 50 Shades, jadi tuh mereka bisa dapet itu gara-gara kecantikan gitu loh. Do you get? That's when yang tadi kan kamu bilang have this point of view kayak I'm just gonna do nothing. That you can do nothing when you're that pretty. Ngerti gak? Nah dan di situ tuh yang bikin orang insecure. If I'm kayak misalnya wait, I'm doing nothing and no guys are coming to me, that's when you feel like I'm pretty ugly then. But that's not how life should be. Like whether you're pretty or not, there's some works that you need to go gitu. I'm doing nothing, the same as the movies told me, but why aren't guys coming to me, coming to her? Yang kamu tahu kayak, oh my god, she's clearly pretty. But that's when you start feeling insecure gitu. Then you start to realize, oh, all these things happen to girls who did nothing, tapi mereka terusnya cantik.
The reason why I think kayak like the entire 50 Shades of Grey and 50 Shades franchise.
Don't watch it.
Gue belum nonton 50 Shades ya, gue anak suci.
I've watched it, I've watched it.
Hah?
Yeah, I did. I watched the first one. Terus and I'm just like,
kok nonton?
Why?
Gak boleh lah, kau kan umur berapa? Kok nonton kau?
Tapi
Gue aja gak
here's the
nonton.
thing, I watched it,
Umur
right?
berapa kau nonton?
When I was 18.
What the hell, Ra? That movies were 21 years old. Sama siapa kau nonton?
Sendirilah.
Gak tau.
Aku ngeliat Anastasianya kan. Terus Anastasianya, she's so weak. She's like dia tuh kayak no. Kayak misalnya for me ya, I would like to have a relationship that is hard to get gitu loh kayak. Dia tuh langsung have.
Tapi Christian Grey gimana? Sebagai lelaki Christian Grey gimana? Kita dari tadi komen ceweknya nih. Cowoknya coba di komen.
Oh, he's hot.
Oh my god.
Tapi jujur ya, itu tuh semua, there's the stereotype of CEO rich guys gitu loh. Even in K-drama, they are like that. Mereka tuh yang kayak serious type, like I can get any girl I want. Kayak CEO Christian Grey is the same as the most majority of CEO yang di K-drama. They all look the same. Even in anime, yang nggak sih yang CEO orang kayanya itu?
Gue nonton Naruto, Jir. Gue gak nonton yang
ya ini mah beda, udahlah.
Gue nonton Ninja. But interesting philosophy darimu. Ternyata kau pintar juga ya to a certain extent.
Jadi malu. Oh, I want to tell you one thing about K-drama though.
How many things you wanna tell?
No, this is one thing. I even made the data for it. I'm gonna send you the data ya. I watched this in TikTok kan. Jadi someone said some similarities about K-drama and I found this really true and I thought I was the only one who thought about it gitu kan. Dang, I'm not the only one gitu. Sponsor mereka ada satu yang selalu sama.
Kamu ganggu Miwa. Kau teng. No.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りしました。
No. Subway.
What the hell? Masa sih?
Korea ada Subway.
Subway dari Korea?
No, I don't think so. It's Western. Cuman dia buka di Korea kan. Nah, tiba-tiba di Korea somehow masuk di K-dramanya gitu. Jadi, and you know, the data said it quadrupled. It quadrupled. 4 kali gitu kan. Quadrupled since 2016 to 2018 just because K-drama. Kayak literally mereka setiap hari makan di Subway. Kayak every day they eat that Subway sandwich. I'm just like, how are you not bored? Aku udah ngeliat kayak at least kayak ada 3 series that I watched yang pakai Subway. If I wanted to say this, but I'm pretty sure you don't know any of the series, Wah.
No, you're right. I don't. No. Nor do I care.
Sampai mereka lagi makan kan. They were like talking about konflik yang sangat besar. Mereka like they talk about all this secret stuff in Subway. Tiba-tiba out of the blue dia ngomong,
You like that sandwich?
Advertisement done right, bro. Kayak
tiba-tiba kayak after they exchange all their secrets gitu kan, like gitu, tiba-tiba dia kayak, this sandwich pretty good. You eat here always? Do you eat here often? Terus gue kayak, hah?
kayak di Indosiar lah. Kok lo tau gak? Di Indosiar kan misalnya, maaf ya, misalnya bapaknya tuh udah jahat banget, tiba-tiba di emak sama anaknya kan, habis itu emaknya kayak gini, sini nak, mari makan Koko Crunch sama ibu. Aku tahu. Iya mah, bagaimana cara makannya mah?
Nonton bareng ya? Kita nonton bareng.
Yeah, I was with you, right? Did you see that ad? Jadi kayak,
Tante tahu nih, pasti kalian lapar kan? Nih, Tante bawa garis snack cereal coklat, makanan ringan berbasis es serut dengan krim coklat berbentuk bantal. Nih, buat kamu satu, lagi buat kamu. Nih.
Buset, yang Indonesia tuh yang jelek banget gitu loh. Itu tuh benar-benar out of the blue, tiba-tiba she just kayak took the baby, like after shouting at each other, after finding out that her man cheated on her, she just dragged her baby, she drags her child into the next room with her room. Nih, nak, makan Gary. This one is gonna fix your cheating man. What's gonna fix your cheating man is prayer. If I can have a say on this,
you already have a lot of say in this. What do you want to say?
more say. Please watch K-drama if you haven't. Masih berlogika, and kamu belajar banyak dari K-drama. I'm telling you.
Shut up.
Dan juga I'm not hating on anime ya, because I used to love anime. Like Kak Wan knows this. I love Haikyuu. I rewatched 3 seasons of Haikyuu last year. Think about K-drama and also Haikyuu and also anime. They are so detailed. If you want to focus on volleyball, they really tell you every rules on volleyball. That's the same thing in K-drama gitu. Like the one I told you about Law and Prosecutors, they tell you like if you want to have trial, you need to do this first. Jadi you learn a lot gitu. That's what I'm telling. Kalau misalnya lo masih suka Indosiar, jump off that bandwagon and go to K-drama or anime. I'm telling you right now for your sake.
Are you telling the people or are you telling me? It's a BS saying considering you were complaining about the stereotype of Korean drama.
Iya tahu. Kayak not right now. Like I'm questioning, do I like K-drama or now? If you don't know what to watch, hit me up. I will gladly tell you what to watch first if you are a beginner in this K-drama.
Wow, saying like a true fan.
This is my Instagram account. Guys, by the way, kita ini LDR tahu. Aku di Amerika.
Iya. Saya ada di Jonggol.
Jonggol.
Saya di Jonggol.
Dia di Jonggol.
Ya,
Saya di Amerika.
Iya.
Iya.
Dia ngambil Universitas Indonesia.
University of Illinois.
Oh! Cek lu. Lu cek ada nggak beneran nggak?
Oh, I mean University of Brussels.
Wah itu dari Universitas Brussels.
Mannequin Peace.
Apaan tuh artinya?
Yang statue of peacing gitu loh.
Iya itu aja dari gue sama adek gue. Very insightful, very stupid, very fun.
Honestly, I don't know what you can get from this video, but I hope that you get a lot of positivity in this quarantine.